Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of 6-Star Justification. What this series is going to be a weekly series, and it's going to be on my monsters that aren't exactly meta. So what I mean by that is, it's not like your Theomars, which is like, okay, it's obvious why you'd 6-star that, or Orion, or Konamiya, like, pretty obvious monsters why you would 6-star. So today, we're going to start off with Emma. Now, I know a lot more people have been building Emma lately, but she's still pretty underused as far as most of the community goes. Now, what makes Emma cool is her skills. So her first skill is attacks enemy 2 times. Each attack is 25% chance to increase the enemy's chance dealing glancing hits. And that goes up to 15, 5, 5s, 25, so it goes up to 50% chance that she will put down glancing hit. Skill 2, attacks the enemy and removes all beneficial effects on the target. If there are 2 or more beneficial effects removed, the attack bar of ally is increased by 20%. So it's a 100% chance before accuracy and resistance to remove buffs. So that could be used in a lot of different places. And it's on a 3-turn cooldown. And then the reason I built her is skill 3. Heals all allies by 30% of your max HP, increases their defense for 2 turns. This skill generates a shield that lasts for 2 turns and is equivalent to half of the excess heal. So the nice thing about Emma is that she's got this heal. It's a 4-turn cooldown when max skilled. So before max skilled, it's a 6-turn cooldown. It pretty much makes her unusable. The rest of her skills don't really need to be max for her to be very, very good. It definitely helps in cutting magic in PvE terms if you want her to be good. But I use her as a Guild Wars only monster. Now, the reason I use her as Guild War only is because there's one team that you will see over and over and over again, which is your Galleon, Bernard, Theos. And if normally you sub out Theo for Perna, or normally it's a Fire Nuker like a Perna, or it's a Theo. That's the normal teams you see. So what I wanted a water healer that had good survivability, had good heals, and that could sustain my team. Now, what makes this third skill so good is it's a 30% heal, which is the same as most heals. It's got the 2 recovery plus, so it's 35-ish percent heal. So it's about the same as Bella's. But then it also increases defense, so that helps increase survivability. And then the skill generates a shield that lasts for 2 turns as equivalent to half of the excessive heal. So against the teams like a Galleon, Bernard, Theo, what's going to happen is Theo's going to attack one target most likely. Occasionally he'll attack a second target, but most likely that one target is going to take most of the damage, which means that Emma, if she's not taking damage, and let's say another unit I use, which is mostly Theo, so my Theomars doesn't get hit. That means that I'm not wasting my Emma's heal, because what I'm doing is putting a bubble on the units that are already at full health or that or go over full HP, that they gain a bubble so that all of a sudden they've got a little bit more extra survivability. So I'm not wasting a heal to heal up one monster. It's healing all the monsters, putting a defense buff so it makes them tankier, and then puts a little protective shield on them to increase their survivability as well. Now, her leader skill is resistance by 40%, which in Guild Wars, which is a pretty good skill. I happen to have a lot of these, so I don't never really use her leader skill, but it is pretty nice to have that extra resistance. Now, her Awaken bonus is the leader skill, so she doesn't gain any stats from that. And then rune-wise, I have her on Violent Will. So again, the reason I have her built is that so she can protect me against those Galleon Bernard Theo comps or Galleon Bernard Pernas. So she needs to be on Will, and I like having all of my healers on Violent. So these are the runes I got her on. Again, these aren't the best runes because she was not a 6-star that I was really like, okay, really need her to have amazing runes. But my biggest thing was I needed to make sure she had a good amount of HP to survive, in which she does. She's got about, is that exactly 39,000? 29,000? I can't count. Exactly 29,000. And I wanted to make sure her speed was slower than my slowest unit in that combo, which is Theo. So he is at 176, so she is at 166. So ideally I'd like to get her about 9 speed faster so she moves right after Theo. But for right now, it works. So what I'm going to do is I'll be right back. I'm going to get into a guild war against that combo and show her off. All right, here is our example of using Emma. Let me just finish up this retest, and we'll see you in the next game. So the next team is Galleon, Poseidon, and Bernard. So what they're going to try to do is armor break me, reduce my attack bar, and try to kill me. And I'm going to show you the team that I bring and why I use Emma for. So we go ahead, knock down that retash, so retash is done. Alright, so this next one starts. So they're going to go ahead, time to loot, Bernard derped, that's fine. Sweeping waves, that's not going to do anything. It's going to break my shield runes, that's fine. I got to armor break it already on Poseidon, so I can go ahead and kill him. Which I think I will do. So let's go ahead and kill Poseidon. We're going to try to kill Galleon, and then we're going to buff up with Emma. Alright, Bernard's going to go. We're going to counter again. Alright, well, his defense break. And we'll just cutting magic, so I can just put glancing on him because he's got no buffs. We're going to go ahead and try to get that down. Nope, we should be able to kill him here. So, Emma basically is will runes. Everything goes in that team. Emma comes in at the end, and she heals everyone up, gets the defense buff out, get the shield out, and we survive. So that's always the game plan. And I'll do one more war once I find another comp that's similar, and we'll be right back. Alright, so we got a similar comp. We got Galleon, Alicia, and Bernard. So we're going to do the same exact thing to this comp. And then other comp doesn't matter right now because you aren't going to see that fight. But this first comp, we're going to do the same thing. That Emma is hopefully with our will runes and our shield runes. Our shield runes are from Galleon. Now everyone's on will. We got a shield set. So hopefully everyone will survive. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I got a speed buff. Do Pirate Stroke. Storm Midnight's not going to do too much. As you can see though, Theo's got to kill Alicia because he's almost dead. He's half dead. He kills Alicia. We get that defense buff up and a little bubble. So they're going to do some damage. We got to kill Galleon next. Alright, I think Galleon's going to die. That could come back to bite me in the butt. We'll find out in about 2 seconds. Oh, yes it did, of course. Alright, so we are going to try to actually cutting magic Bernard. See if we can remove his attack buff, which we did. So he's not going to hit quite as hard right now. Galleon killed himself, which was the plan. And then we win. Alright, so that's what I use Emma for. Same things, those are 2 water nukers. I know they weren't Theo's, but it's the same idea with Theo. We absorb that damage with a shield and will, then we go ahead and kill them on that next turn, hopefully. Or at least 1 unit. Now, if it's Theo, what I normally do is I go after the Theo, unless, let's say, Galleon doesn't armor break him, and then I'll go after the Galleon. But let's say our Galleon armor breaks Theo, my Theo goes Popsy Endure. I've got 2 options with Emma. If I don't need to heal, I will go ahead and, if there's a dot on Theo, I will go ahead and remove the Endure. Because what I'm hoping for is that I'll remove the Endure and the dot will kill him. Or, if I don't have a dot on from Theo, what I will do is I will cutting magic him. So I'll put that glancing on, or preemptive strike, sorry. I'll preemptive strike him, so I'll put that glancing on him instead, so that he's going to be glancing on me instead of killing me. So I really like her kit. She's got that glancing, she's got the buff removal, and she's got that heal with the defense buff, which is very underrated, and that little overheal. So she fits my niche role for Guild Wars. Now, the downside is Emma. Absolutely needs skill ups. There's no getting around it. You have to get that 3rd skill skilled up. The other 2, not as much of a big deal, but that 3rd skill absolutely has to be skilled up. Now, I don't use her in any other teams. It's the only team I use her for, but the thing is I use her every Guild War. So for me, she's a very good Guild Wars monster that I use every single time. So for me, it was worth it for me to 6-star because I needed someone to fit that niche role. There was someone I could put on Will that wasn't going to affect any of my dungeons teams, any of my raid teams. So I needed that one extra unit that I could use and make sure that she did the job well. So for me, she worked perfectly. Now, if you're thinking like, hey, maybe I want to build an Emma, again, you got to remember you're going to have to skill her up. I mean, we had the Neostone Agent Hall of Heroes about 2 months ago now. So that's where I got most of my skill ups from. I was able to skill up her, and I was able to skill up my Lisa for the most part. My Lisa's missing some out of the first 2 skills, but she was able to get that 3rd skill maxed. So I've got, and I was feeding Neostone Agents before that to Emma because I was trying to get that medical support done. But like always, for me, it was the last thing to get skilled up. So she ended up being fully max skilled. So, again, I really, really like her for my niche role, but it might not be a unit that you go, oh yeah, I need that in my team. But if you do need a unit like that in your team, and you have Emma just sitting there, and you might have some extra Neostones, or you don't have anything to devil them on, I would suggest it. She's a very good unit. She's very solid skills. Again, downside is 4-star needs Devilmon. So that's my justification for building Emma. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later.